And maybe the third is that we have been based in Mindanao. We have deployed volunteers in Mindanao over the past 20 or even 15 years. And we thought that this is about madness. The district volunteers are also come from volunteer many years ago. With Team Gabuna here, sabi namin yung nag-volunteer kayo ang Heroing for Life. We will invite people to volunteer. We will say, come, this is about madness. So the Heroing Service Program is also about madness, making a difference for Mindanao. So it's really like an invitation for our young people who would like to sustain our human resources for Mindanao. Many of those who have accumulated and have not come back. So sabi namin, napakayaman ng Mindanao, pero bakit yung Mindanao today, peace and development has been very, very inclusive for Mindanao. We thought that, yeah, if through this program, we will try to strengthen our human resources, our human capital for Mindanao. So that's the Heroing Service. 6 years ago, actually, and now the president of Ateneo de Zamboanga University, Father Antonio Moreno, was a classmate in college. He was in senior university and he was saying, yeah, mayroong PNVSCA designation, and he wanted to nominate the Heroing Service program at the time. And I told Father Tony, are we going to, isn't it awful to be awarded for the thing that we are doing, which is part of actually our university mission, to form an agreement for others, to train and send graduates to serve the country. Isn't it? This is part of our mission, and should we get an award for it? Maybe some more colleagues in the industry or in volunteer service programs have practically challenged us that indeed this award is not for the program or for the university, who have in many years maybe have always demanded to put its institutional goals in the service of the underserved and for the good of the country. But personally, having worked as a volunteer manager and caretaker for several years, I realized that this recognition is due to the volunteers, long overdue for the Heroing Service program. For the volunteers, 150 volunteers or more who have joined the program. Some of them have not gone back. Some of them are now integrated in these communities to serve probably for life. And some of them to stay also and to be there, part of these communities that they have worked with. So the Heroing Service was actually a bridge connecting our university-based human resources to fill in social capital gaps needed considering the development goals of the region, Mindanao in particular, and the country. We would like to thank and we also recognize the leadership of Archbishop Antonio J. Ledesma, of the Society of Jesus. Now he is the Archbishop of Cagayan de Oro, but he was also in the forefront of many social and peace and development efforts in the country. And who was at the time the Dean of the College of Agriculture, who practically inspired the creation of the Heroing Service program that builds volunteers as a path and a career option that provided a path to many. And practically, we now have a lot of social development workers and advocates in Mindanao. In humility and in profound gratitude, and of course together with the Archbishop, our founder and father, and we also have our alumni here with us, and many familiar faces that I really have worked with over the years in promoting volunteerism. I accept this recognition for the Year of Service for on behalf of the volunteers and the State University who provided the volunteers home, for the YOS partner organizations, non-government networks, Mindanao dioceses and churches, government agencies, and rural sector communities we have worked with together to achieve peace, development, and a genuine harmony that we are so desiring all these years in Mindanao. I'd like also to accept this award on behalf of the volunteer organizations, Information Coordination Exchange Network, the Voice Network, and also other volunteer organizations and international volunteer counterparts, the SOV and all others that we have worked with in the past and in the future, who is also trying to strengthen the community of volunteers instrumental for why OS will be part of the national volunteer landscape in the Philippines. I know that this award is not an indication of success, and it says it's the end. Perhaps when I'm looking at the trophy, I said it is a signal, and to remind us that your work is not yet finished. So I guess that this is about going, continuing. And there are a lot of challenges coming and new frontiers awaiting for groups like us. And as I was looking at us all here, I was thinking maybe we should have activities like this, maybe affirm such act and gesture of giving than many more congressional hearings to talk about issues. So I accept this award again with an appeal to our Philippine government, especially Pinoy. He's here, but he's here, our president, because his crusade is about good governance. And we thought and we believe that volunteerism is a commitment to contributing to good governance and to making this country a better place to live in. That we put the government to support the volunteer efforts, especially putting up systems and structures that will nurture volunteers and commit also as their expression, commit to volunteerism as their own expression of the Filipino virtue of pag-usap, pagsisilbi, pag-aalay ng sarili para sa kapwa, lalo na doon sa mga nangangailangan. Volunteer work is not easy. We all know that. And when the going gets tougher, especially if you take care of volunteers, these are young graduates, young professionals, and send them to very difficult areas, and especially if the work gets very difficult, I console the volunteers each year, each batches, that, well, this is not work. Volunteering is not work. It's mission. And our reward is greater in heaven. But today, I can tell my alumni and future volunteers as well that there is here on earth, volunteers can get rewarded too. And hope is to entice more to volunteer. So for the Philippine National Volunteer Service Coordinating Agency, thank you very much for this award. This is a reminder that beyond the many works we are challenged to do is for us to value volunteer work as an engaged citizen and as a Filipino, and we feel and believe that that's the only way to do as a Filipino. Daghang tayo salamat at mabuhay ang mga volunteers.
Good afternoon to everyone. It's often said that every significant and meaningful achievement draws inspiration from someone or something above us. I cannot accept this very esteemed award without recognizing that one person whom I know many of you know, who continues to inspire us and from whose constant prodding has encouraged the formation of the Metrobank Purple Hearts Club in February of 2003. I'd like to request Mr. Aniceto Sobrepeña, fondly co-chief by many of you, to stand up. As much of what we have achieved in the Metrobank Purple Hearts Club draws its wisdom, encouragement, and guidance to this day from Chito Sobrepeña, a colleague in the bank. Thank you very much, Chito, for always being there for us. I am dwarfed and humbled being with the list of winners that are recognized this afternoon. I feel like the Metrobank Purple Hearts Club is a baby. And so I will not go through the stories of the weekend tutorials that we do and the tree planting that we do. Suffice it to say that this award sends an anachronistic to the very spirit of volunteerism, as most people volunteer without an expectation, without wanting or needing anything back other than the sheer pleasure of helping. Marami pong salamat sa Philippine National Volunteer Service Coordinating Agency sa karalang ibinigay niyo sa amin. Kalaki po na isang taus-pusong pasasalamat ay isang pangako na kami po sa Metrobank ay lalong magsusumikap na panatilihing buhay ang volunteerismo. Para sa gawaing malaki man o maliit, kami ay makatulong sa aming kapwa at sa pag-aalaga ng ating kapaligiran. Maraming salamat po, and we are highly honored and deeply happy for this recognition for a volunteer group of employees who are just starting on a journey. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of my colleagues from Pfizer Philippines, I would like to thank PNVSCA for this award. This is truly a great recognition of the volunteer work rendered by 800 employees of Pfizer Philippines. Engage is what we call our employee volunteerism program. We chose the name Engage because it connotes the strong commitment of Pfizer and its employees in living out the company's core value of helping the community. Through the Engage program, our colleagues are providing opportunities to help the community where they work in by sharing their skills, talent, and time. With this award, this will definitely strengthen Pfizer's commitment to help Filipinos have healthier, longer lives, not only through our medicines, but also through our volunteer service. So to PNVSCA, thank you and more power.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am Mabilia Pablo, husband of Justice Luciano's youngest daughter, Glenn. If I had a choice, I would not be up here on stage accepting the award on Mommy's behalf. I would rather be seated in the audience with you, applauding her as she accepted this award. But sadly, it was not to be. It will be exactly 27 days since we entrusted Mommy into God's good hands. Up to now, we, her family, are still trying to get used to life without her. And up to now, we are still trying to get used to the fact that she can still surprise us like this in a very big way. Knowing Mommy, it was just like her not to have said anything at all about this award. It was only yesterday when Mr. Ken Scrivello called up the house and informed us about this award. But also knowing Mommy, she was very much looking forward to being here with you today from the time she received your letter dated February 2. That was the way Mommy was, very humble and very self-effacing. At home, she was always more interested in hearing about your day than in talking about hers, which is why life with her was always very full of surprises. You only found out that she had done this or that after the fact, usually from the newspapers or from someone else. Mommy lived a life of service without hesitation or reserve to God and her fellow men, in particular, the last, the least, and the lost. In writing about her, former Chief Justice Renato Puno chose to quote a poem by Emily Dickinson, which goes, "If I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not bleed in vain. If I can ease one life the aching, or cool one pain, or help one fainting body unto his nest again, I shall not bleed in vain." That was exactly the kind of person Mommy was, and that was exactly the kind of life she chose to live. As a young lawyer, she ran the Willowsea Legal Aid Center with other volunteers helping indigent wives and mothers finding solutions to their family problems. She wanted to